This song is about hairy, sweaty, macho, redneck men who rape.
What is the greatest rock and roll performance of all time? And why is it The Strokes at MTV $2 bill? We're gonna get into the sound, the aesthetic, the production, cinematography, and there are chapters if you'd like to skip around, though I don't recommend it.
How do you know when's in a music competition? Isn't it subjective?
No.
But I know you're probably wondering, what about Queen at Live Aid? What about the Beatles on Ed Sullivan? What about Santana? He's at fucking Woodstock. He's at fucking Woodstock. It's 2002, and the Strokes are lighting up the UK charts with their debut album, Is This It? You have Noel Gallagher and Tom York showing up at your gigs. You have Kate Moss requesting a spot on the guest list, plus 16. The Strokes are very much in the British zeitgeist, but they haven't really broken in America yet.
There's only about 50 people there because no one has ever heard of it in the States yet.
Like, holy shit, can somebody sell this band to the Americans? So what do you do? What did the Beatles do? The Who, the Kinks, the Rolling Stones.
The Vines, the Hives, the White Stripes. This isn't new.
You need your American band to do a British invasion. That means a lot of touring and several late night appearances and hard drugs. But it's the early 2000s, so you better have a special on MTV. So a rock band played a show on television 20 years ago? Big deal, right? Why are we talking about this, huh? Slow News Week? It's just a bunch of live takes cut together. And yet, it has the aesthetic of a music video. It's live, but it sounds just like the studio recording. And you're witnessing the peak form of a band that's about to reinvigorate the entire genre for another decade.
Rock and roll history.
So, they're playing songs from Is This It?, their first and their best album, which is all bangers, all the time, just melt it down and stick it in my goddamn veins. This is early Strokes, young Strokes, peak perfectionist Strokes. They still give a shit in a way you'll almost never see again. You get the vibe they're both trying way too hard and really just not trying at all. And they sound almost perfect. Tightest they'll ever sound, and it's no surprise coming off a year and a half of straight touring. They sound just like the record. Of course, it doesn't hurt that producer Gordon Raphael gave the record a live sound, the sound of, quote, them playing in a room over there. It's not jazz or improv is key, or rap where no one gives a shit how you sound live as long as the vibe is hype. With rock and indie, you write songs and then you play them, and if you suck live,
you should see him live. They're much better live. I think I'm gonna throw up.
then you just suck. With the Strokes, there are no lazy backing tracks. Everything you hear, you can also see. You might say, well, yeah, they sound like the album, but they also recorded their album to capture their live sound. Isn't that cheating? Perhaps. But per another hap, they are extremely precise technicians. At this point, they are these songs. They're better than the record.
When they first came to England,
We went everywhere to see them. We used to go to festivals just to see them. And they were brilliant. They looked great. And they seemed to herald a new spirit in guitar music.
Cheers.
You'll often hear people say the Strokes look and sound how a rock band should look and sound. And I don't care what your oversized t-shirt, baggy jean-wearing girlfriend from Brooklyn will say, the Strokes are fashion icons. I wouldn't say they're doing anything new as much as they do the old thing really well. They're individually stylish, but still maintain a cohesive aesthetic. You have Nikolai with a coat and tie, tucked-in striped shirt, neutral colors, a very understated look. In character for him, yes, but also bass players everywhere unless you're Flea or the guy from Dance. Albert Hammond Jr., on the other hand, sporting a much more dramatic, all-black look, a la Eddie Slimane. Shirt and tie, zipped-up leather jacket, slim-cut pants, leather boots with a glossy finish, a tight silhouette, and the all-black offers an excellent contrast with his white Stratocaster. Nate Valenci, sporting a cream blazer, vintage tee, light wash jeans, chucks, and with his antique finish Epiphone, you have a sweet navy cream color palette. Little Fabrizio, rocking the cuff jeans with a vintage tee, really taking it easy in the fashion department, as drummers often do, and they get away with it by virtue of the fact that they're doing a full body workout. As the lead singer, wants to draw more attention from the audience, but only slightly more attention. Remember, we're a badass rock band. We're not a pop act. We're cool. We're indie. We're underground. Anyways, Julian's in the iconic marine dress blues with a sewn-on crossing sign warning danger, police. Untucked striped shirt and tie, and of course, the jeans with no knees. Acting, choreography, dance, call it what you want. It's the way they move. Are they drunk, just meandering around stupidly, or are they stumbling stylishly? They seem out of control, and yet they're playing the notes perfectly, effortlessly. What do you make of that? Are they exaggerating, or just actually fucked up? I'd wager a bit of both.
Jump and
that's what you thought it
do
was.
my half arm swing.
Oh, right, that's one of your moves, right?
You know, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I didn't even really think about it. It was just a natural one of my moves.
guys look cool as fuck. They're the saviors of rock and roll, the coolest band in the world. I mean, they're already cool guys. They're cool like New York City rockers. Like, alright, cool. But let's turn it up to 11. Line the stage with beer bottles. Cigarettes look great for the camera, so emphasize them. Light one up. Let it dangle from your mouth as you groove to the beat. Or clutch the mic stand. It's a mini smoke machine, a natural aphrodisiac. And it's toasted. So rock and roll. Step 0, make your front man look like a sex god. Or should I say, more of one. Put your hottest chicks in the front row for Julian to hit on. It's good for the camera, we all know that. We're going for the men want to be them, women want to sleep with them vibe here, and to be honest, it's working on me in both ways. Just try not to bash their fucking heads in with the mic stand, Julian. Each stroke creates interest, channeling his own character into the larger act. Julian's audience antics, stumbling across the stage, fucking with the mic stand, Nick Valenti constantly attacking, all out, off balance, dancing, grooving, Albert Hammond Jr.'s footwork and acrobatics and style. Nikolai is the stoic, gentle giant, the perfect foil to the high energy of the lead section. Little Fabrizio, controlling dynamics, exploding rhythms from the back line despite not having had a decent meal in 3 hours. What a guy. Do you recognize these music videos? Neither do I. They were all directed by one man. The same man who directed $2 Bill. His name is Roman Coppola, and he comes from a dynasty of filmmaking talent. His father wrote and directed The Godfather.
Can decisions shape your life? You be aware of 5 above.
You want to fight me? For her? Wrong move, baby.
Sempre un amabile leggiadro viso in I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
So Roman and the Strokes got together and convinced MTV to basically rip off the set designs of the Elvis 68 comeback special, which Julian had recently watched. You have the small scenario, a red bordered light up stage surrounded by the audience on all sides, and the big scenario, bold light up lettering, all caps, behind the band on a much larger stage. They have 7 massive cameras on rollers moving all around the set, suspended from the ceiling, close-ups, wide angles, low angles, all broadcasting simultaneously. And you have our director, Roman Coppola, in the command center, watching all the angles and calling the cuts as the song develops.
2, going down with 2, and take 2.
4 bars in.
36, that's next.
And his team has all the cues for every section. Sounds pretty basic, but makes all the difference. Listen to the call for fast cuts for the best 4-bar section on the whole album. That's right, Alone Together.
4 bars.
3.
Fast cuts in 1.
Ready?
4.
Take 2. Take 4. Take 5. Take 6. Take 7. Take 2. Take 4. Take 8.
Okay, let's take a look at some different shots to understand how they're using composition to emphasize different parts of the frame. You
You often open your scene with an establishing shot to give your audience the lay of the land, so they don't get confused when you push into tighter angles. In this case, where the strokes are in relation to the audience and each other. Here, the close-up is used to isolate Julian, help the audience connect with him, and emphasize the melodic vocal line of the chorus. The over-the-shoulder shot puts you in the audience, lets you feel their perspective. They're loving this. Are you? The wide shot captures all 5 strokes in frame, each one building tension into the change, coiling up like a cobra and then dropping that beat like an atom bomb. The low angle conveys power and authority, just adding to the epicness of Nick's guitar solo. And the great thing about a 360 stage is you can have your band members facing opposite directions. And using depth of field, you can get 6 shots of your guitar players ripping back to back.
Is that it? It's coming out in September, isn't it?
Yes.
Is this it? Is that it?
Is that it?
Is that it? That's
Yeah.
actually, is this it?
Is that your ethos to all of this?
Someone tell me why the Strokes fandom are all musicians. I would say it's because their live performances are so uniquely inspiring. The sounds spread like religion. And all the groupies are listening to Jack Harlow now. The reason rock and indie thrived in the mainstream as long as it did, from 2001 to the mid-teens, is because of the strength of the Strokes' early live shows. And $2 Bill is the crystallized pinnacle of that raw rock and roll power. Huge shout out to Douglas Weiss for uploading all the $2 Bill footage in high quality back in 2020. Love you, Douglas. All right, peace.